Hello everyone, welcome to Homeschool Autism Life. My name is Jamie. Today's video, I wanted to share about real life. Real life. I don't know if you are a family who's struggling with sleep issues with their autistic child. For us, it has always, I shouldn't say always, since I want to say he turned about 10 years old, maybe older, maybe 15, we really started struggling with sleep issues. It is, as far as the numbers go, I think 80% of autistic children suffer from either not being able to fall asleep or staying asleep or sleeping super lightly. And the parents are often tasked with taking care of them because they can't just leave their autistic kid wandering the house by themselves, because all sorts of mischief happens, or maybe they will try to leave the house or whatever. And so sleep is a real problem. And if you are one of those parents, guaranteed you have you tried melatonin? Or have you tried other sleep aids? And for our family, I always laugh at that question because, oh yeah, it wasn't the first thing we tried. But our son also has a very good penchant for fighting anything that is designed to make him fall asleep. There's some mechanism in his brain that says fight, 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 fight. Don't you dare fall asleep. So with melatonin, when we gave it to him the first time, he fell asleep at 10. We were like high-fiving each other going, woo, woo, we got this covered. And then he woke up at 2 and refused to go to sleep for the rest of the night because he was mad. So we were like, okay, hard pass on that. Since then, we've tried some more natural supplements. Melatonin is a natural supplement, but it is designed, you're like boosting what your body naturally gives you and giving you tons more. This one is more like quiet the mind sort of supplement, but it only does so much. So the other issue for my son is that he had a bad experience. When I broke my ankle back in 2016, I disappeared from his life for 3 days, and I didn't prepare him. And I prepare him for everything, every single thing I prepare him for. And so unfortunately, in that accident issue, I just disappeared. And at that point, him and his dad, they had a relationship, but I was his conduit. I was the one who explained everything, and he was kind of set adrift. And he also had some really bad dreams that seemed to really shake him. And so he was for quite a while unwilling to really let me out of his sight. And he really wanted me to be with him. And so that has kind of carried, because I don't know about your autistic child, but mine, he has a memory, like we think he's got either a photographic memory or how do you say that word? Eidantic, I think is how you say it. But his memory is very, very, very steel trappy. And because of that, it means that singular event was very strong. So when I had to have my hysterectomy and I knew I was going to be gone for several days, I had prepared him, but then we kind of reverted all the way back where he wanted to sleep in our bedroom. We've always, and we've always tried to make sure, unless we were like sick or exhausted, that he always start the night in his bed. We do to this point still sleep or stay in his bedroom until he falls asleep, and then we will sneak away. And then he usually will wake up at 3 to to 5 in the morning, somewhere in there, and clop, 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 flop onto the lazy boy that we have in our bedroom. So it's been a very well established routine at this point, despite our best efforts to curtail those things. And at this particular point in time, um, it's in the last year or so, it's gotten significantly worse. Part of it was the curvature of the earth. And you might look at me and go, what does that mean? Well, for my son, he doesn't look at the clock and go, okay, it's dinner time. He doesn't look at the clock and go, it's bedtime. It's all about routine. And because we live mostly in a place where winter is the predominant time frame, let's say, he looks at it and goes, supper time, it's supposed to be dark. What are you supposed to do? It needs to be dark outside. And so when summer came along, this last year, in 2025, he was like, not dark out, therefore it is not dinner time. And we were like, it doesn't get dark until after 11 o'clock at night. So it's his whole nighttime routine, which is quite long, got pushed back. And we kept fighting to bring it back, and he kept fighting. He would just leave his food. He wouldn't eat it. And then we'd be like, okay, well, now it's time for the bathroom. And he would be like, no, I have not finished my food. I have not had dessert. It is not time for that. So it's been a struggle, and I wanted to share that real life scenario because I think it's important sometimes to talk about those things. But it had gone to the point where my husband and I were like, are we trying to maintain a system or a nighttime routine or like putting him in his bed, and it's actually hurting us? The answer is yes. It was hurting us, but neither one of us want a permanent 18-year-old roommate in our bedroom. So it's been a struggle. It has been getting better since the winter has come, and we've been able to be like, okay, 8 o'clock, like that's our limit. You need to be eating by 8. Or a little bit earlier if we can manage it. And that has been helping. But definitely it is something that, you know, if you're a special needs parent, you know that there are going to be these things that come up and you're like, okay, this is what we're doing. All right. And it's also very important as you're going through this and you're experiencing the frustration to understand that they are not doing this to harm you or doing it personally to attack you, or, you know, like there's so many things that our mindset, and I've spoken about this before, our mindset is the most important thing that we can have, because it literally tells us, sets us up for either being really angry and really frustrated all night as you're sitting there till 4 in the morning, waiting for them to sleep, or you set it up as, you know what, he's doing the best that he can, and I need to be patient and find ways to make this work, or find ways to facilitate the needs that he has, and then by doing so help facilitate my needs as well. And I am so thankful for homeschooling, because there's so many times where I look at it and go, I could not do the morning run now because I'm falling asleep at 3 or 4 in the morning. And so I'm so thankful that my girls are at an age where they can do things more on their own, and I can just breathe and sleep in the morning and then get up and do the schoolwork with them. So the big thing is that there's not a lot of answers I don't expect the comments to be filled with, this is what we did and it worked for us and it's going to work for you. You're welcome to put those in the comments, but I sit there and I go, sometimes it's really important to talk about real life and share that you are not alone. You're not alone. And I have another video coming up where I'm going to be talking specifically not just about the sleep issues, but the other parenting things that we do that most uh, parents with like typically developing kids would not understand. So, yeah, I really hope this was encouragement and not because it's not meant as an it's meant as whatever situation that you're dealing with your special needs kids that is hard. Um, Frame it properly for yourself. Understand that they're having difficulties too, and then work together as a team with your team of your, you know, and whatever the situation is for you, that you can go, okay, I've got this. I just have to be creative about how I deal with it, and don't expect overnight success. Expect that it's going to take months of slowly shifting the routine so that it's imperceptible for them. They don't recognize that it's happening, but also that there's a point at which you're like, okay, this is the best that I can expect, so that my expectations are not completely overrun. There's so many times where if we tried to put him to bed at 8 o'clock, um, so I really, really, really hope that this was something that was an encouragement, that we are together in these, surprise, oh, the sun. The sun is going to throw my routine into the toilet and I have to start all over again. But it is a blessing to look after my son and, understand that I am there to help him in any way I can. And sometimes that means my life will look vastly different than everyone else's. Have a wonderful week and we'll talk to you next time. Bye.